Game series featuring the Tigers and the Baltimore Orioles. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, Ron Allen, glad to have you with us. As you can see behind us, there will be a slight delay to the start of this one. We had some rain coming through, but apparently that rain has gotten through. And tonight, when we do get it started, Ron, it'll be Max Scherzer. And since the start of July, nobody has been better than Scherzer.
You know, one of the things about Scherzer, when the Tigers made the deal to bring him over from the Arizona Diamondbacks, he made 30 starts last year, but he wasn't a complete pitcher. So they were getting a guy in really his second full season, and boy, has he made some adjustments. Since July 1st, he's been one of the best pitchers in baseball. You see the numbers, 6-3 with an earned run average that's under 2. And in his last start against the Chicago White Sox, he was simply unhittable. 4 earned runs, but he did have 6 strikeouts in the no division and really competed against a team that he had no success against, or the Tigers really had no success against the White Sox.
Well, a lot has been made about that trip that he made down to Toledo. Scherzer said a trip to the minor leagues certainly did wonders for him.
When I went down to Toledo to make that start in the bullpen, that was the first thing I did, was to sit here and make sure that my arm never crossed the parallel of this body to make sure everything was on line, and so that it would stay on top of the ball. Once I made that fix, that's when all of a sudden my changeup came back, my slider started having depth on it again, my fastball had the life.
You know, something else that really helped Scherzer as he showed us the alignment of his body, allowing his arm to catch up with everything else, is the fact that now he can read the hitters. When he throws that ball in the strike zone, he can kind of see if guys are late on the fastballs, if guys are cheating on breaking balls, and that has really allowed him to elevate his game to a whole nother level.
And we expect Scherzer to be just as good here tonight against the Orioles, who won Game 1 in the series. As we mentioned, a bit of a delay to the start of this one tonight. We will have baseball, not to worry, here at Comerica Park. In the meantime, we go back to the Call Sam studio now, and with more on our coverage, here's Ryan Field.
I talked to Max Scherzer about a month ago, and he told me that his body was starting to tire just a little bit, but you can't see that in his numbers. He's been a workhorse. As a matter of fact, in his 6 of his last 7 outings, he's gone at least 7 innings, and he's really developing a really nice feel for pitching, making adjustments during the course of the game, and that's allowed him to really dominate American League hitters.
Well, we apologize for some technical difficulties. We're back with you here as you see Max Scherzer warming up. The Tigers and the Orioles getting ready to do battle here for the second game in this 3-game series.
Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively. It's always presented by Beaumont Hospital. You got Kelly, Jackson, Rayburn in the outfield. Inge, Peralta, Santiago at second today. You got Cabrera, the big fella. He's over at first. And Avila's been doing most of the catching here the last couple of weeks. He's back behind the plate once again.
All right, let's check out the Baltimore lineup here. It's presented by Honda Bloomfield tonight. It's Brian Roberts leading it off at second base, followed by Ty Wigginton at first base. Nick Markakis is in right field, followed by Luke Scott, the DH. Matt Wieters will catch tonight. Adam Jones is the center fielder, and their bottom 3 features Felix Piet, Josh Bell, and Cesar is Torres. So it's a cool evening for baseball here, but we will have it nonetheless. That's the good news. The rain moved through the area. The field is in great shape, and Brian Roberts getting ready to set into the batter's box and lead things off. It'll be Roberts, Wigginton, and Nick Markakis facing Scherzer. 0 for 3 in the opener last night, and Roberts cuts and fouls it off to start this one here tonight. Lights are on, very cloudy, but the rain apparently has moved out of the area. That's the good news. And the temperature tonight is a very brisk 56 degrees. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Line back up the middle into center field, and Brian Roberts has a leadoff single.
Take a look at Scherzer's overall numbers this year, and it's really been a tale of 2 seasons. He has 10 wins, 9 losses. The majority of those wins have come the second half of the year. The earned run average just 1 point over 3.51, and of course lots of strikeouts for Scherzer as well. Dominant here at Comerica Park, 7-3 record.
Here's Ty Wigginton. Wigginton batting .250. He's hit safely in 9 of his last 12. It's been a tremendous year for Wigginton, who was an all-star this year.
And Scherzer needs to keep an eye on Roberts. Roberts was entertaining the thought of running on that very first pitch. And he had such a good jump that he scared himself. And he had simply stopped.
Two balls and no strikes. A 27-minute rain delay officially tonight here at the ballpark.
You don't have to worry about the number 2 hitter on this Baltimore Orioles team laying down sacrifice bunts. Wigginton has 20 home runs. He's driven in 66.
Wave and a miss, and he took a big rip. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Well, that means Scherzer's got his good stuff today. 2-0 to a power hitter. Here it is. Hit it.
Scherzer trying to hold the runner, and he finally brings it home and misses low and inside. 3-1.
That's what legitimate base stealers that are leadoff hitters will do to you if they get on base early in a game. They will disrupt your timing. They will disrupt your thinking pattern. And then all of a sudden you fall behind a guy like Wigginton, and who can hurt you in a 3-ball, 1-strike count.
Runner bluffs, and there's a strike on the outer edge. Wigginton thought he had himself a walk, but not so, said Marvin Hudson. A couple of years ago, Brian Roberts swiped 50 bases. That was in the 07 season. He stole 40 the next year and then 30 last year. So this guy's been a really good base stealer. And there he goes. And it's ball 4, and the first 2 Orioles reach. First walk of the ball game for Scherzer. He's going to bring up Nick Markakis, the number 3 hitter. Orioles with their win last night, now 54-87. They've played a whole lot better under Buck Showalter. The Tigers, meanwhile, at 500.
As good as Scherzer has been the second half of the season, he got off to a shaky start his last start here at Comerica Park against the White Sox. He gave up 2 runs in the second inning, but really settled in nicely after that.
Markakis at 289 has hit safely in 6 in a row, including last night's game.
He's probably their best all-around player. 289 average, not a lot of power, but has the best average on their team with runners in scoring position.
One and one.
And one of the reasons why Markakis is so good with runners in scoring position, he's one of those guys that will go down that left field line, and he'll also pull the baseball down that right field line. His straight chart validates as much. He hits it around everywhere.
Markakis, an outstanding athlete in junior college. He was quite a pitcher that threw in the 90s, mid-90s, as a matter of fact. He has a terrific throwing arm from right field. He has made his living in the big leagues as a really good hitter. He's hit safely in 17 of his last 18 out of Glen Cove, New York. Here's the 1-2. Scherzer has won 10 games this year. That establishes a career high. He won his 10th 3 starts ago at Toronto when he went 8 really good innings, giving up just 1 run. He struck out 8 in that game, but he has early trouble here with Robertson Wigginton on the bases. And that's pulled to first base. Cabrera spins to second one. Relay is knocked down by Scherzer. Safe at first base is Markakis. Look at the force at second base. And 1 away.
Very difficult play here. The 3-6-1 double play, one of the toughest to turn. Scherzer didn't quite know where he was, and he's lucky that Markakis was aware of that fact and didn't step on his ankle.
Peralta couldn't get a whole lot on that turn. As a result, bounced it in. Ooh, boy, that ankle was sitting right on the bag. First and third, 1 out. Here is the Tiger killer, Luke Scott. Half swing, and Inge hauls it in. That's a big out.
Wow, 94-mile-per-hour fastball all in Scott's kitchen with a runner on third base. You'll take that all day long. And not a good at-bat by Scott. He'll tell you as much. But give Scherzer all the credit in the world for having the confidence to throw that fastball with that aggression on the inner third of the plate to Scott.
And Scott shaking his head as he went back to the bench. Going to leave it up to Matt Wieters now with 2 away. Wieters 1 out of 3 last night with an RBI. Way inside. Good stop by Avila. Wieters this year in his first full season of the big leagues, 51 driven in. He's hit 11 home runs. And Scherzer delivers a strike.
It also took Joe Mauer quite a bit of time in Minnesota before he finally developed some power, but then they moved out of that Metrodome into Target Field, and Mauer does not display much power these days. And the Orioles also expect Wieters to be a 20 home run guy per season as his career progresses.
In the air, shallow left field. Kelly coming on, and a nice job by Scherzer to pitch out of the first inning jam. No runs, a hit, a walk, 2 men left. Sixth inning, Tigers starting lineup tonight presented by Big Boy. Austin Jackson leads it off. He's in center field, followed by Ryan Rayburn. Johnny Damon had a 4-game hit streak, the DH, then Miguel Cabrera and Don Kelly. Johnny Peralta, the shortstop, in Javilo Santiago are your bottom three. The Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Jeremy Guthrie. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you.
And Guthrie has the stuff to be a top-of-the-rotation guy, but his numbers simply have to get better pitching in their division, which would be the American League East. He comes in 2-8 in their division. He also throws all hard stuff, fastball, curveball, and a changeup, but all are very hard pitches for him, and he's been a dominant pitcher for them second half of the season. Really good numbers for Guthrie.
6'1", 205 out of Roseburg, Oregon, facing Austin Jackson, who rolls one to the shortstop is Turris.
Let's take a look at the defensive alignment by Buck Showalter, their new skipper here tonight. Felix PA is in the outfield. Jones in center, Markakis in right. Bell is Turris, Roberts, Wigington round out the infield. Matt Wieters, the star catcher behind the plate. And Jeremy Guthrie, as we told you, is towing the rubber here tonight at Comerica Park.
Batting in the 2 slot tonight, Ryan Rayburn. Bit of a change to the lineup tonight for Jim Leyland. Rayburn 2 out of 4 last night. He continues to drive in runs. He has knocked in 50 this season. Guthrie's 0-1. He's rolled to third, foul. No balls, 2 strikes on Rayburn. You see both teams are wearing the white caps tonight. Of course, the anniversary of 9/11.
13 losses this year for Guthrie, but the earned run average is really good for the American League. 99 strikeouts and 183 innings, which means he pitches to a lot of contact. Only 46 walks.
Here's the 0-2. And it's line fair. Right field. It'll go to the corner. Rayburn just keeps hitting. He's on his way to second, and he's full.
And Guthrie probably would like to have this pitch back. It's a fastball. It's down. It's away. But Rayburn's able to reach out with 2 strikes and slice that ball down in the right field corner. And Ryan Rayburn's on fire right now.
Ryan Rayburn safe at second base with a double. Safe and secure, New York Life. Damon trying to drive him in with 1 out. Johnny sits safely in his last 4, and in that stretch, 9 for 17. Fouled back out of play, 1-1. Johnny's overall numbers this year, 273. Home run numbers are down from last year. You expected them to be a little bit, with Johnny coming over from Yankee Stadium to Comerica Park as his home field. And the 1-1. Here's the 1-2. A little bit high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Guthrie is 31 years old. He was acquired by the Orioles in 2007 and won 10 games each of his last 2 years. Chopper hit to the shortstop as Turris has this one. Runner moves up, 2 gone. Guthrie trying to get to the 10-win mark, 3 consecutive seasons where they win here tonight. Got a deal with Miguel Cabrera now. 2 outs, runner at third. Cabrera was up in the same spot last night. They elected to pitch to him, and Cabrera responded with an RBI double.
Cabrera drove in all 3 of the Tigers' runs in last night's game. And the last time he came to the plate, Buck Showalter simply took the bat out of his hands. He walked Cabrera intentionally.
Hit on his fist that time, and he popped him up. So it'll work out well for the Orioles as Wigington hauls it in. That's all for the Tigers. No runs, a double is stranded, no scores. Swing and a miss. Swing and a miss. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Scherzer outstanding tonight. It has been a phenomenal ride for Max Scherzer in his last 10 home starts, a 7-1 record with a sparkling ERA of 1.83. And Max was able to pitch out of some trouble in the first inning. Back to work here in the second. And a leadoff single by Adam Jones, who picks on the first pitch and drives one to left.
Well, Scherzer knows that's a mistake pitch there to Jones. He's a dead pull hitter, and anytime you throw him inside, that's exactly what he's going to do.
Orioles get the leadoff man out for 2 straight frames. We'll bring up Felix Pierre.
Scherzer's stuff has been so good. I talked to a veteran scout in Minnesota 10 days ago. That was a couple of starts ago for Scherzer. And he said he simply wrote down for his scouting report that night on Scherzer, W-O-W in capital letters. Wow, that's how good his stuff was that night. And really on most nights, that's how good Scherzer has been since the second half began.
Here is Felix Pierre. Ball 1 to Pierre, who is 0 for 3 in the series. Did draw base on balls last night. Former Chicago Cub, a couple of years in a Cubs uniform. And the 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike on Pierre.
Pretty good changeup here by Scherzer. As a matter of fact, he has a couple of different changeups, and he taught himself the changeup in college. And this is a circle change, a little tailing action to this one. Kind of pulls it. Then he also has one that he throws with 2 strikes, and that he simply pulls straight down. He wants strikeouts with the 2-strike pitch, of course.
Right back to the mound. Tough throw at second base. They'll get one there. Scherzer bounced it in. Nice play by Peralta.
And a wise decision by Peralta as well at shortstop, not trying to turn that into a double play. Adam Jones would have knocked him out in the left field. It's a nice job by Scherzer. He knows he's not really going to get 2, but he simply throws the ball to second. Not a good throw, but a nice pickup by Peralta.
Bring up Josh Bell. He's playing third base tonight. Bell batting .218. He had an at-bat in the ball game last night after coming on defensively. And that is popped up. Let's see if Inge has room. It appears he does. And that's out number 2. Well, this game is available tonight in crystal clear, stunning high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD, sponsored by Comcast. Here's Cesar Izturis. 1 for 4 last night in the opener. Izturis will not hit many home runs. He's been in the big leagues since 2001, and he has 15 career homers. Cesar in his 10th season, known more for his glove work than a .257 lifetime hitter. The 0-1. That's popped up as well. Inge appears to have another play. And he does. 7-pitch inning for Max Scherzer. You're watching Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Comcast, call 1-800-COMCAST for TV, phone, and internet. And by the new Ultimate 50-50 raffle from the Michigan Lottery, the current jackpot is at least $196,000. Back here at the ballpark on a chilly evening, we are scoreless as we go to the bottom of the second. Tigers hitting against Jeremy Guthrie, and it's Don Kelly leading it off, then Johnny Peralta and Brandon Inge. Kelly in his last 24 games is hitting .354. Pops this one out. Third base side. Bell coming over and runs out of room. Nice catch. The rebound. Woohoo indeed. Come to the ballpark, you sit behind the dugout and you're in the front row, you should bring your glove. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And it's fouled back.
And one thing Guthrie is going to do, and he's already displayed that, with 2 strikes, he's not going to waste a pitch. He's going to try to locate his fastball, as he has done to several Tigers already here tonight. And so with 2 strikes, they need to stay ready to hit.
Driven down the right field line. It's hooking, though. Foul.
Pretty much everything he throws is hard. The fastball's 92 to 95. That was a breaking ball. It's a pretty hard breaking ball as well. His changeup is rather hard. Some feel as if once Guthrie starts to back off that changeup a little bit, his numbers will get a little bit better as far as the wins and losses are concerned.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Stanford grad, former #1 draft choice of the Cleveland Indians.
Now the 2-2 pitch. He checked it, and he did not go. That is Jim Joyce. The umpire spot at third base.
Unique path for Guthrie to get to the big leagues. Out of high school, he went to Brigham Young. Spent 1 year there before going on a 2-year mission, then coming back 2 years later to go to Stanford, where they made him a #1 draft choice.
The shortstop as Turris gets out there to the grass, and Kelly is out, 1 gone.
Hey fans, groups have more fun at Tigers games. Group tickets, picnic, and party suites are available with groups of 15 or more receiving discount tickets to select games while supplies last. Call 313-471-BALL or visit tigers.com.
We're seeing some winter caps out here tonight. It's that cool. 56 right now, holding steady, but a lot of jackets and some umbrellas before the game started. Peralta looks at a breaking ball outside. Johnny hitting with 1 out here. He's hit safely in his last 4. Hit hard to the left field, and there is a base hit. Tigers have their 2nd hit of the game.
And the Tigers offense for the better part of 3 weeks now has been sizzling hot. You talked about Rayburn, you talked about Kelly, but Peralta has been getting busy himself.
There's Brandon Inge.
And still looking for that 200th double. He's been looking for that 1 double for about a week now.
Guthrie missing high. 1 ball to no strikes on Brandon.
And here's some of those offensive numbers that I was talking about for Lloyd McClendon's troops last 22 games. They ranked right at the top in the American League.
One ball, 1 strike. And is fouled back out of play.
You know, one thing Buck Showalter told the Baltimore Orioles when he took over that club is the fact that they do play in the American League East. It's a very difficult division to play in, but get over it. We're not going anywhere. We simply have to figure out a way to compete and play with the big boys in that division. And Guthrie would fall into that category himself. Guthrie is 2-8 this year against the American League East, but he does very nice work against everybody else. So he needs to figure that out himself, how to pitch better in that division.
2-2 on Brandon. Swing and a miss, and down he goes. First strikeout for Guthrie.
And here's some of the numbers on Guthrie this year. 12 games against the East, 2-8. So of course, that's Boston, that's Toronto, that's the Yankees. Really good hitting teams. And you see what he does against other teams. 7-5 with an earned run average that is under 4.
Here's Alex Avila, who gets yet another start. Batting .213. Ball 1 to Avila. Alex 0 for 4 in last night's game. Back in 2001, Guthrie was pitching at Stanford over in the Pac-10, and that same season, Mark Pryor was pitching at USC. Pryor would go on to be a #1 pick of the Cubs, and it was Guthrie that handed Mark Pryor his only loss that year in college. 2-0 is outside, 3 balls and no strikes. And he went on to be a #1 pick, Guthrie that is, of the Indians. Santiago waiting on deck. Three and 1.
And more than likely, you're going to get a fastball here. And if you do, get out in front of him. That's one of the things that Jim said he'd like to see Avila and start to do a better job of. And in fastball counts 3 and 1 like it is now. And simply catch it out front.
3 and 2.
Looked like he was a little tardy. It's one of the things that Avila needs to work on. In this count, 3 balls, 1 strike, you have to know you're going to get a fastball, and it really doesn't have to be a really good pitch to hit. And sometimes Avila just waits a little bit too long in those hitter-friendly counts. 2 strikes, you have to wait a little bit longer. The 3 and 1, that's when you can be the aggressor.
Avila now has made 11 straight starts. And the runner going on 3-2, and it's fouled away down the third base line and just back into the seats. They battle for it. Guthrie's thrown 34 pitches now. This will be the 8th coming up in this at bat. 31 years of age, a native of Oregon. Another foul. Peralta had a 1-out single, still standing at first base with 2 outs.
Getting his sprints in, though.
This will be the 9th pitch coming up in this at bat. And another foul back out of play. Peralta again will stop, turn around, head back to first. Avila making him work. Santiago would be next if Avila reaches. Right back up the middle into center. Base hit. Peralta coming to third base. He's in standing up. And the Tigers now have something going here with 2 outs.
Well, Guthrie continued to pump fastball after fastball to Avila. And Avila finally timed one perfectly and hit a seed right back to the middle past the shortstop, his Turris. It's a pretty good fastball, but it's right down the middle, about belt buckle high. Guthrie did not want to walk Alex. And Alex rewarded with a base hit. It's a pretty swing by Avila.
It's going to give Santiago a chance. He's batting .264.
Will Rhymes getting the night off here, at least at the beginning of this game. He has been getting the bulk of the playing time at second base. Santiago getting a rare start at second base here last couple of weeks.
Fouled off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Of course, with the announcement yesterday that Carlos Guillen is undergoing surgery and is done for the year, Will Rhymes will have an interesting next couple of weeks as the Tigers wind down this season. He'll just continue to get opportunities. And hopefully giving him a leg up going into spring training next year. The 1-1. There's a line drive to third, and Bell is able to make the play to end the threat. Tigers get a couple of hits. They strand 2 in the books. Still no score. On 9/11, Tigers celebrating with the men and women of our local fire, police forces as well, and their community service was also highlighted tonight. Both the Orioles and the Tigers came out and thanked all of our folks that helped keep us safe in the police force, the fire departments. And it was a great ceremony before the game. This is the anniversary of 9/11, the 9th anniversary of 9/11. So a special thanks goes out to all of those that helped keep us safe. Here we go to the top of the third in a scoreless game. It'll be the top of the order coming up for the Orioles. It'll be Brian Roberts leading it off. He fouls away the first pitch.
Baseball was a major part of healing in 2001 after 9/11. I was broadcasting games with the Arizona Diamondbacks at that time, and we went to New York shortly after the 9/11 attacks. And boy, oh boy, to go down to ground zero and really get down there and see what was going on was really fascinating. I had never, ever witnessed anything like that in my life.
Even to this day, 9 years later, it is a fascinating trip. But I really can't imagine what it was like immediately after it happened. 1-1 has popped up. Boy, Inches had a few opportunities here tonight to have another.
As a matter of fact, when we got off the plane, when we left Arizona that evening, they boarded a couple of buses and we all went down to ground zero, and just to see the firefighters and the police officers react to all the players that went down there. Randy Johnson, Luis Gonzalez, Kurt Schilling. They all signed autographs. They did everything that the people asked them to do. And, of course, the World Series that year was one of the best World Series I'd ever seen.
It was a hard one-hopper hit to the shortstop. Boy, Johnny Peralta, he doesn't miss anything. And there are 2 gone. Let's go back to the studio now. Ryan Fields standing by with a game break. Thanks, Ryan. Kicking up their heels. I like it. Bringing back an old Ernie Harwellism. There's a strike called on Nick Markakis with 2 outs. Tigers at 12.5 back. Minnesota leading Chicago by 5. That's how it looks in the Central. 1 ball, 1 strike on Markakis. He reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. Two and 1. Make it 2 and 2. In the air, center field. Jackson patrolling there, which means that's going to be a routine out, and it is a 1-2-3 inning. 9-pitch inning for Scherzer. And we are still scoreless. Pete Rose holds off Ty Cobb, 4,192 hits, passing Mr. Cobb, the all-time hit leader. It takes something to get 4,000 plus hits. And that's what Mr. Rose did on this day, September 11th.
Pete Rose never gave an at-bat away. If he had 3 hits, he was trying to get 4 hits. If he had 4 hits, he was trying to get 5, and he played every single day for a long, long time. What a competitor Pete Rose was.
Two and 2 on Austin Jackson as he starts things off here in the third. Guthrie back home, and it missed inside. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, if you're the Tigers hitters, you may as well get ready to hit that fastball. Guthrie has featured quite a bit of fastballs here tonight. Not many breaking pitches.
Jackson goes down on strikes.
That was a breaking pitch. A hittable breaking pitch, but Jackson swung right through it. Some managers don't like for their pitchers to throw those little get-me-over breaking balls with 2 strikes, because a lot of times those don't get to the catcher's glove.
Meanwhile, Rayburn gets his second hit of the night, a single to go with his double. And he's 2 for 2 and now 4 for 6 in the series.
Ryan Rayburn is playing with more confidence than I've seen him with in a Tigers uniform the last few years. He's always in real good hitter count, and when he gets whatever pitch, the fastball or the breaking ball, he's not missing it. Last time with 2 strikes, he hit a ball down in the right field corner.
Here's Johnny Damon with one out. Down the right field line, foul territory, and just out of the reach of Ty Wigginton.
That's dangerous down there. It's real wet. A lot of rain here before the ball game. Of course, the game was delayed. And wisely sliding is Wigginton, who started at third base in last night's game. You hit, they will find a place for you to play, and that's what Wigginton pretty much has done all year for the Baltimore Orioles.
Tigers now have 5 hits. The Orioles have 2. Runner bluffing on the last 2 pitches, but Rayburn going nowhere. 2-1. Ryan, a couple of swipes this year. He's been caught twice. And there he goes. Slapped in the air to center. Rayburn's going to have to recross the bag. Here comes the throw back to first base. It's off target. Damon is out. 2 gone. Rayburn had to bust it to get back to first base.
That's why they tell you when you take off in a count where the ball is made contact with, you have to look in. Rayburn never looked in. Therefore, he was 3 steps past the bag and got lucky to get back. And that's where the cutoff man needs to come in play, but there was no cutoff man there for Jones to hit. You can see both guys were right at the bag there, and therefore Rayburn able to get back safely, but it looked like he was going to get doubled up. That is a perfect example of after 2 or 3 steps when running towards second, you must look in to see if the ball has been put in play. Therefore, you don't put yourself in that situation that Rayburn was just in.
1 ball, 1 strike on Cabrera. Miguel popped up back in the first inning, 0 for 1. Tigers had 4 hits. They had a 1-out double in the first and failed to score. They had runners at first and third in the second, but Guthrie held him off the board. You see 1-1. 2-1 on Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera has 84 walks this year, which is the 3rd highest total in the American League. Of those, 30 are intentional. Tried to hold up, couldn't do it. 2-2 on Cabrera.
And very seldom do you see Cabrera take a swing like this. And he knows he's going to get that fastball, and he was sitting on it, and Guthrie threw it out of the strike zone, and Cabrera couldn't hold up. We told you that Cabrera drove in all 3 of the Tigers' runs in last night's game. He doubled in the very first inning, driving in 1, and then he played long ball in the 6th. That was all the scoring the Tigers were able to do in last night's game.
And the 2-2. It's inside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. 113 RBIs for Cabrera. Bautista hit 2 home runs last night for Toronto. He has 110 RBIs. (3-2) with the runner going, and a drive to left field. That's a base hit. Rayburn will hold at second base. Cabrera has a 2-out single.
Just about every fastball that Guthrie threw Cabrera there in that pitch sequence was inside, and even the last pitch was inside. But Cabrera has shown the uncanny ability to pull his hands close to his body on pitches that are darting down and in, and that brings the barrel of the bat across the plate, and that gets lots of contact for Cabrera. Even going to show it to you in X-Mode, courtesy of Lincoln Mercury.
Here's Don Kelly. Tigers sooner or later are going to have to get to Guthrie here. They put another 2 men on base, and they had 5 hits in this game.
That's one of the areas where the Tigers struggled in last night's game, and that was hitting with runners in scoring position. They were not very good.
And he popped him up. Foul ground, third base side. Bell hitting over. No runs, couple of hits, 2 left, 3 in the books. Still no score. Followed by a space in the player's uniform number to 37338. That's FSDET. See the final results postgame during Tigers Live. Max Scherzer back at the hill. Still no score in this one. We've had 7 hits in this contest, 5 of those for the Tigers.
Yeah, biggest pitch of the game came back in the first inning with a runner on third, less than 2 outs, and Scott was standing in the batter's box, and Scherzer shattered his bat, and he popped up harmlessly to Brandon Inge, and Scherzer went on to get out of that jam that he was in.
Luke Scott, coming into this game, had played 15 games in his career against the Tigers, and in that stretch, 23 RBIs.
Yeah, that's why it was a big pitch.
And 10 home runs. There's a strike called, 1-1. Scherzer has thrown, or threw, I should say, 16 pitches total the last 2 innings. He had a 7-pitch second, a 9-pitch third. So his pitch count in great shape in the early goings here. 2-1 on Luke Scott. Wieters and then Jones to follow. Popped him up. This time to the right side of the infield. Cabrera. Seven straight retired now by Max. We got Matt Wieters. Wieters flied out back in the first. Bouncing ball to third. Tough play for Inge. Knocks it down. Can't find it. And Wieters is aboard.
As the third baseman, you really aren't prepared for left-handed hitters to hit a ball that sharply down at you. And Brandon's got some of the best feet for a third baseman in this league, but he simply backs up and can't corral it in. Now we'll see how they rule it. It's a play that we have seen Brandon make quite often, but he could not make the play that time. But left-handers generally do not hit ground balls that sharply in your direction if you're playing third base.
We'll bring up Adam Jones. 1-out base runner. Will be ruled a base hit. So Wieters has an infield single. And Scherzer has given up just his third hit in this game.
It's a good pitch to Jones. Dead pull hitter. You want to stay away from him. Make him hit the ball to center field, the biggest part of this ballpark, or to right field. He might get a base hit in that direction, but he will not hit for a lot of power the opposite way. Adam Jones also grounds into quite a few double plays for a guy that has his athleticism and his speed. So apparently he's taking a really big swing and having a difficult time of getting out of that batter's box.
One and two on Jones. Adam has hit safely now in 6 in a row. He had a base hit to start the second.
A lot of talent. 5-tool player, really. Some power. Real good throwing arm. 9 assists. Can run down everything in center. Hitting 280.
He's finishing up this season strong. He's hitting 357 in the month of September.
Made an all-star team last year. Won a Gold Glove. Really good looking young player.
There's the 1-2 pitch off the end of the bat. Foul.
Great location with that slider. That's the one that will get you the double play. Great location.
Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Felix Piet waiting on deck. Neither team has a run yet. Orioles back in the first inning to start the game. Got the first 2 men aboard, a single and a walk, but they couldn't score. And the 2-2 pitch. Driven to left field. Kelly is on the run, won't get there. It'll be a base hit. Wieters gets to second base, and the Orioles now have 2 men aboard. And Jones is 2 for 2.
And he continued to pump breaking ball after breaking ball after breaking ball to Jackson. He threw a couple of real good sliders at the bottom of the strike zone that he was able to hold up on, but this one simply stayed over the heart of the plate, and Jones hit it off the end of the bat and found some real estate in the outfield for his second base hit of this game, both to left field.
Here's Felix Piet. Hit a ground ball his first time up, reaching out a fielder's choice. He has hit into 8 double plays this year. Piet finds himself in a slump. 7 for his last 49. And that slice just off the glove of Brandon Inge. We'll get into left field, and that's going to load the bases.
You don't think it's a game of inches? Ask Max Scherzer right now. Like Brandon got caught jumping off the wrong foot right here. Jumping off the left foot instead of the right foot didn't allow him to elevate as much as he can elevate, therefore right off the tip of the glove.
Each team now with 5 hits. It's going to bring up Josh Bell. Orioles with a good opportunity to break this scoreless tie. Only 1 out here in the 4th. Wave and a miss.
That probably was Scherzer's best fastball of the day at 96 miles an hour. He pitched out of a jam back in the first inning, so Scherzer most definitely has the stuff to pitch himself out of a jam by getting a strikeout.
Oh, 2.
That's just good observation there by Avila and also Scherzer. Bell was late on the first pitch fastball, so they came right back with it. He got a piece of that one. But if they decide to go hard again, he has to make sure he gets the ball up around the letters. He might get that swing and miss and strike 3. You don't want to make this pitch too good a pitch.
Swing and a miss. And Bell is out of there. Big strikeout for Scherzer. That is going to be his first of the night. Going to come in a better spot.
Scherzer, when he first came back from the minor leagues, was piling up lots of strikeouts, but he's been going deeper into games lately, therefore pitching to much more contact. He's able to finish Bell off in 3 pitches, the last of which was that swing and miss changeup that he likes to throw with 2 strikes that acts like a forkball.
Cesar Izturis with 2 away. He popped up. Career with the bases loaded, just 226. And they are loaded here with Wieters at third. Jones and PA also on the bases. .95-mile-an-hour fastball, and Izturis no match.
Max Scherzer, 13 of 18 in first pitch strikes here so far to the Baltimore Orioles hitters.
Oh, 0-2 on Izturis. Crowd trying to get behind Scherzer here with 2 outs. The crowd had to wait out a 27-minute rain delay at the start of this one tonight. Here's the 0-2. And he got a piece of that one to stay alive. Top of the order waiting on deck. That's Brian Roberts. So after a couple of snappy innings, the second and the third, Scherzer has his pitch count up to 53 now. Still in really good shape.
And Max went right after Izturis here with the 2-strike pitch. You don't want to make a mistake here. Make a good pitch.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
That's a good pitch.
Izturis chasing, and back-to-back strikeouts for Scherzer. They leave him loaded. For the Lions open up the season in Chicago against the Bears, and then Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are in Philly to take on the Eagles. Coverage begins with America's #1 pregame show. It's Fox NFL Sunday starting tomorrow at noon on your local Fox station. Guthrie back to work in a scoreless game in this one here tonight. Game 2 in this 3-game series. Each team no runs, 5 hits. Johnny Peralta's hit safely in 18 of his last 22 after singling his first time up. So far, these two teams have stranded a combined 11 runners in this game. There's a bouncer left side. Deep in the hole is Turris. Nice play. One gone.
That's why he gets to play on most nights. He doesn't bring a whole lot to the table with his bat, but he's a wizard with that glove. He is a really good defensive shortstop.
Bring up Brandon Inge. Inge, a strikeout victim back in the second. Brandon has had 6 hits on this homestand. Homestand in which they beat Chicago 3 out of 4.
Guthrie has been outstanding since the All-Star break. He comes in 6-3 with an earned run average just a shade over 2.5. And it appears that he has brought his A game here once again against the Tigers, who have been a hot offensive team, as we showed you earlier, for about 3 weeks now. And there's the numbers. First half, second half.
2-2 on Brandon.
Guthrie also one of those guys that gets stronger as the game goes on.
One hopper to the shortstop. More of a routine play for his Turris. 2 up, 2 down for Detroit here in the 4th. Well, the AT&T trivia question tonight. Let's see if we have the score for you. Put your thinking caps on. Since Buck Showalter took over, what Major League Baseball manager has the highest winning percentage?
It's a layup tonight.
Took over on August 3rd, so since August 3rd, what manager has the highest winning percentage? There's a ball to Alex Avila. Singled back in the second, so you think it's an easy one then?
Yes, it is.
Good.
When I can guess it in a matter of 1 second, it's an easy one.
High fly ball. Felix Pie in left. And Guthrie has himself an easy 4th. Nothing doing for Detroit. Let's go to the 5th. And by AT&T, find out what's possible with the nation's fastest mobile broadband network. AT&T, rethink possible. Back here at Comerica Park as we go to the 5th inning. It's still a scoreless ball game tonight. Max Scherzer taking the hill. He has thrown just 54 pitches over 4 innings. They left him loaded against Max back in the 4th. Brian Roberts leads it off here in the 5th. Roberts, Wigginton, and Markakis. First pitch rolled foul, 0-1 on Roberts. He's 1 for 2 tonight.
That is something that I've noticed that Roberts likes to do a lot of, and that's to swing at the very first pitch. Even though he is the leadoff hitter at the beginning of the game, he is very, very aggressive.
Good pitch right at the knees, and it's 0-2.
Roberts considered one of the best second basemen in our game. Last season, World Baseball Classic, Dustin Pedroia had to go home because he was injured, and it was Roberts that took his place. So that's pretty high praise for Brian Roberts.
Roberts last year had 56 doubles. In fact, he's had 2 consecutive years of 50 or more in the double category. He missed a lot of this year, though. There's a line drive to left that'll drop in, base hit.
The one thing Scherzer has been able to do when there has been some traffic on the base pass, and that's pitch out of jams. He did it in the 1st inning. There was a runner on 3rd, less than 2 outs. Luke Scott, who has killed the Tigers. He shattered his bat. Then he got Matt Wieters to fly out harmlessly to left field. And then he came back last half inning with the bases loaded to strike out BAL after 2 fastballs. And then he just dusted his Torres with a high fastball. So Scherzer has that lethal stuff here tonight.
Here's Ty Wigginton. Base hit by Roberts, the 6th hit of the night for the Orioles. They have 1 more than the Tigers now.
He spent a lot of time on the disabled list this year. Roberts did, with an abdominal strain. Only playing in his 45th game this year, and they tell us that he's not running as much because of that. Likes to slide head first. Therefore, does not want to re-injure that abdominal muscle.
Roberts has 8 swipes this year. He's been caught twice. Shuffling off the bag, and so Scherzer will step on.
Scherzer will give up a stolen base or 2, but most of those stolen bases came earlier in the year. Scherzer was struggling on the mound and simply had forgotten about that running game, but since coming back from the minors, he's done a better job handling the running game.
Avila, meanwhile, has thrown out almost 33%. He's at 32.7% from behind the plate.
He has been very accurate. Nice footwork. Most of his throws are right down on the bag.
So one thing the Tigers have had the last couple of years behind the plate, really, with whoever they've thrown out there. Laird, Avila, guys that can throw. And Avila's seeing a whole lot more playing time now. One and two, the count on Ty Wigginton.
And more than likely, Roberts trying to pick that breaking ball count to try to steal a base in, which could be this count.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Wigginton is out of there. 3 strikeouts for Scherzer. In fact, he got the last 2 in the 4th.
Hey, fans, be at Comerica Park tomorrow when the Tigers take on the Orioles at 1:05. All kids 14 and under receive a Tigers back-to-school binder. And for tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. You can put all your homework in that binder.
Here's Markakis.
And they give you a ton of homework these days.
It's overwhelming sometimes.
I'm telling you.
Was a strike called?
About 4th or 5th grade, I gave up on my kids' homework. I turned it over to the spouse. It was by me.
Oh, I see. You mean in terms of helping with homework?
Yeah, by me.
You got to the 5th grade?
Yeah, about 6th grade.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you guys can have it now.
I checked out in the 2nd grade.
You guys can have all this. And it's like the teachers bring all that homework so the parents can do it.
Absolutely. I was never really good at math, but when I saw some of the math homework my young sons were bringing home in the 3rd and 4th grade, I thought, you got to be kidding me.
I'm telling you. When my kids got into high school, they were taking honors classes, college classes. I'm like,
forget about that.
No shot. Nope. I'll get you a tutor.
Yep. Either that or get on the internet.
Mom's great, though. Very patient. I could not do it.
0-2 on Markakis. I'm impressed, man. You hung around to the 6th grade. That is really good. Swing and a miss. Boy, Scherzer is taking over now. That's another strikeout, his 4th.
He didn't have many strikeouts through the first couple of innings, but then he was backed against the wall with the bases loaded last half inning, and he struck out 2. And he has struck out 2 pretty good hitters here in this inning. And the one thing that Scherzer's doing is kind of changing the eye level of the hitters. And that last shot was a perfect shot of what Scherzer was telling us before the game by him getting to a really nice balance point. When that ball is thrown toward home plate, he kind of sees and reads the swings of the hitters. He can see who's late, who's early, if guys might be sitting on a breaking ball.
Well, here's Luke Scott, and so far tonight, Scott 0 for 2.
Take a look at the head here of Scherzer. Once this ball is thrown toward home plate, even though he kind of jerks his head down violently, he is still looking up now to see exactly what that hitter's doing. He can see and read the swings, and he knows that Markakis couldn't catch up with that fastball.
Scott with a pop-up and a soft line-out. And he lines one to left. That's a base hit. So that'll put 2 aboard now with 2 outs.
That's what Rick Knapp kind of preaches, and he preached that to Verlander last season. Verlander got off to a rocky April in 2009, and that's one of the things that Rick Knapp told Justin. He said, you know, you need to start looking at hitters' swings and reading the kind of at-bats that they get against you. And we all know Verlander went on to have a spectacular remainder of the season in 2009, and he's been pretty good again this year. 15 more wins for the ace of this Tiger staff. You got to read the swings. Make adjustments.
Here's Wieters with 2 out, trying to break the scoreless tie, and he looks at strike 1. Seven hits tonight for the Orioles. All of them have been singles. They left the bases loaded in the 4th. They have put 2 more men on here in the 5th. Wieters 1 for 2. Now it's 0-2. Wieters went to high school in South Carolina, Goose Creek, South Carolina. One of his high school teammates, Justin Smoke, who was a high round draft choice and a prospect of the Texas Rangers before he was dealt away this year in the Cliff Lee deal. Here's the 0-2. He tried to hold up. Yes, he went around. Strike 3.
Max is pitching tonight.
5 strikeouts for Scherzer. They strand 2 more. Tigers baseball tonight on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. League manager, hence the highest winning percentage. And if you guessed Buck, you're wrong. It's Ron Gardenhire, who has won 68% of his games since Showalter took over in early August. Those Minnesota Twins, man, they just start to play once September rolls around.
It is a well-oiled machine from top to bottom. Accountability. They're all accountable.
Good bunt by Santiago. Couldn't get it past the pitcher, though, and he'll be out by a step.
Guthrie, pretty good athlete. You saw him getting over for that ball and simply putting both hands up, telling Wigington, the first baseman, I've got it, which means you can get back to the bag and we can get this out. A lot of times you'll see the first baseman and the pitcher both converge because the first baseman doesn't quite know whether the pitcher's going to get it or not, but Guthrie alerted Wigington in plenty enough time.
It has taken Guthrie a few more pitches to keep the Tigers off the board. A few more than Scherzer has thrown, but the results have been the same. Neither starting pitcher tonight has given up a run.
Well, a couple of guys that have been hot since the second half began, and a couple of guys that are spotting their fastballs very well. Secondary pitches have been good, and they've really made good pitches when there's been runners on the base paths. That's a well-located breaking ball right there by Guthrie. As a hitter, you really can't do a whole lot with that pitch, but foul it off.
Jackson down on the count 0-2. Breaking ball is a beauty, and see you later.
Mistake pitch there. He got away with it. And the way that he got away with it, the previous pitch was 83. It was a slider. He comes back with a big breaking ball at 72. And it backed up on him. And Wieters caught it right over the heart of the plate. And he got that call from Marvin Hudson in your living room. Ooh, nice spin on that breaking ball.
2 outs. Rayburn swings on the first pitch. Into shallow center. Adam Jones handles that. It's an easy 1, 2, 3, 5th inning. So we go to the 6th. Still no score.
Use the Tigers Live. You'll hear from the manager, Jim Leland, and the players. Plus, we'll break down the game, show you all the highlights. Tigers Live from the Call Sam Studios immediately after the game here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Adam Jones leads it off as we go to the top of the 6th. Scoreless ball game here tonight. It'll be Jones, PA, and Bell facing Scherzer. Max has struck out 5 in the last 2 innings.
Max has thrown 72 pitches so far here tonight. The majority of those pitches have been strikes, and well-located strikes. What a pitch. That has been the difference maker pitch for me, for Max. and the way that he turned his season around, that slider. The changeup was a good pitch at the beginning of the year. The fastball was explosive, but he didn't have that real good slider early.
That'll get down into left center field. Base hit, maybe more. Jackson over to cut it off. And Jones will cruise into second with a leadoff double. He's 3 for 3. Right now we go back to the studio. Time for a game break. Here's Ryan Field. Thanks, Ryan. Here it is, scoreless, although now the Orioles threatening with a leadoff double. Felix Pierre will stand in. Yeah, Jones, by the way, is now 3 for 3. See if he's up there to bunt. No sign of it, and it's fouled back. Pierre with a single, reaching on a fielder's choice in the second.
He does have a job to do. In a scoreless ball game, top half of the 6th inning with that runner on second base, and Pierre must get Jones over to third base. At least to third base.
Well, that's going to get the job done itself right there. He got away from Avila, and Jones gets the third. Wild pitch. One and one on Pierre. That is pulled fair right by Cabrera down the first base line. That'll get the run in. Pierre motoring towards second. And he's in with a double and an RBI. First run of the ball game belongs to Baltimore.
That really didn't appear to be that bad a pitch thrown by Scherzer. It's a changeup. It appeared to be at the bottom of the strike zone. He went down and got off his shoe tops with one hand, whistled past the diving Cabrera for an RBI and a double.
Team doubles this year now for Pierre. And that'll be his 21st RBI. Still nobody out, and here's Josh Bell.
Bell has had a tough time catching up to the Scherzer fastball so far here tonight. Scherzer struck him out his last time up with 2 fastballs and finished him off with a changeup down.
Right back up the middle. Peralta scoops it up. Tough play, though, and he can't make it. And safe at first with an infield hit is Bell. 3 straight hits here in the 6th for the Orioles.
And Scherzer has been able to pitch out of a couple of jams here in this ball game already. One in the first, another one in the third, but not able to pitch out of this one so far. And Johnny just couldn't stop himself and gather himself enough to get anything on his throw to get the out. He got there, but he just couldn't get rid of it. And that might have been one of those plays where he just simply did a pirouette and spun like Alan Trammell used to do back in the day. It would have been an easier play for him.
Here's his Turris. In the air to right center field. That one looks like trouble, and it is. It's going to split the gap and go all the way to the warning track. This will get 2 runs in. Scoring standing up is Bell as Turris has a triple, and the Orioles have a 3-0 lead.
Well, Scherzer's been so efficient with his first pitch strikes here today that the last few hitters have gone up there and simply swung at the very first pitch, and he was able to strike his Turris out his last time up with a fastball up. That time his Turris got on top of the ball and drove in a couple.
First triple of the year for Cesar Turris. He has RBIs 26 and 7, and it's now 3-0. And all of a sudden the hit total has ballooned to 11 for the Orioles.
I don't really know how to explain it, but since Buck Showalter has taken over the Baltimore Orioles, there's a different pep in their step, and they're playing with a whole lot more confidence. This is Buck's 4th managerial opportunity. Yankees, Diamondbacks, Texas, and now the Baltimore Orioles.
Seemingly worked some magic early on, and again they lead here today.
Former manager of the year back in 1994 with the New York Yankees.
Ryan Roberts spins away. Still nobody out in this inning. 4 straight hits. Swing and a miss. 1-1. One of the things that Showalter has wanted to do is keep the history of the Orioles alive, getting some of their former players involved. In fact, Showalter actually is wearing a different number this year. He used to wear 11. He now wears the 26 that the former O's manager, the late Johnny Oates, used to wear to honor Johnny Oates.
Buck had a tremendous amount of respect for Johnny Oates. Tremendous amount of respect. Who didn't, though? Johnny Oates was a fabulous man.
Oh, he was. Great guy.
Fabulous man.
Infield in. Three and 1 on Roberts. It's beginning to unravel here in the 6th inning. Scherzer has surrendered 4 straight hits. 3-1 pitch. There's a strike.
And Roberts thought this fastball was up. It's a strike.
On a line and caught by Peralta. That'll hold the runner. 1 gone. Roberts unable to get that run in. Now it's going to be Wigginton.
Looks like the Tigers will relax their defense a little bit here. Runner on 3rd with 1 out. They were in at the cut of the grass when Roberts was up. And now they've simply backed up about 5 steps. With a 3-run lead, would not be shocked to see his Torres coming on contact. That means anything put on the ground, anything put in play, he'll be trying to get a good break off 3rd base.
One and 1. Scherzer threading the needle. 1 and 2 on Ty Wigginton. Fly ball. Deep left center field. Jackson on the run. Still going. And he makes another terrific catch in left center field. There is literally nothing that he can't get to. A run will score, but Austin Jackson with another sparkling play.
And he's looking over at Kelly in left field, and that look on his face, that little sheepish grin was one to say, I don't know how I do it. I don't know how I get to these balls. That look said it all, and it was priceless.
An RBI for Wigginton. 4-0 ball game. Jackson continues to put on a show. Base is empty now for Markakis. The RBI for Wigginton is 67th. Nick Markakis tonight 0 for 3. Scherzer struck him out his last time up. And that's line to left. Base hit.
That's what he will do a lot of. He will take a lousy single the opposite direction.
Now Luke Scott, 12 hits for the Orioles. Scott today is 1 for 3, singled back in the 5th. And he looks at strike one. The 12 hits allowed by Scherzer is a season high. The previous high was 10, but that was way back in April.
So that just kind of gives you an idea of how well the Baltimore Orioles are playing these days. They've already clinched a 500 road trip for their squad. They took 2 of 3 at Yankee Stadium before coming here for the weekend series. And they were an eyelash away from sweeping the Yankees in the new Yankee Stadium, which is not an easy thing to do.
Two on Scott. One ball, 2 strikes. This will be the 25th pitch coming up in this half inning here in the 6th. Tonight, where early on Scherzer was very economical. Bouncing ball to short. Johnny Peralta has it there. And that will end the inning. But they send 8 men to the plate. They score 4 times and break the scoreless tie.
He made a nice pitch to PA with a runner on second, but he was able to hit a double down the right field corner. But the next couple of RBIs, 2 by Torres and a sac fly by Wigington, the first baseman, those balls were left up around the belt buckle and took a great play by Austin Jackson to run down Wigington's ball. Coors Light Freeze Can is always brought to you by your Frost Brew Coors Light.
There's Johnny Damon leading it off in the bottom of the 6th inning, and Guthrie now has a 4-run edge to work with. He's given up just 5 hits in this game and no runs.
Guthrie has thrown a lot of well-located fastballs today. 91 to 93, but he's pretty much kept the ball out of the center of the plate. A little slow breaking ball, about 69 to 70th run occasion. His slider's been decent. And therefore, the Tigers have a goose egg on the board.
Damon, Cabrera, and Kelly here in the 6th inning. popped him up. Behind the plate, Wieters makes the play. David is out. He's 0 for 3. We'll bring up Cabrera. So Guthrie has been so dominant in the second half of the season, continues that dominance so far tonight, scattering 5 hits.
Against an offense that was hot.
The Tigers really started rolling in that Chicago series, and then the Orioles come to town. Done a pretty good job. Cabrera 1 for 2. Guthrie was actually drafted 3 times as an amateur. In the 15th round by the Mets, in the 3rd round by the Pirates, and in the 1st round eventually by Cleveland. One and 2 on Cabrera. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball to third, a wicket hop to third base. It'll roll to his Turris, and they're still going to get him.
I don't know where that got BAL at, but I know it hurt. A little two-seam fastball that Cabrera got out in front of, and he could not get glove on it. But there was his Torres, Johnny on the spot to get the out.
And with Cabrera running, he knew he had time, and he got it by a step. Bell trying to shake it off. Apparently got it on the hand. So with 2 outs, here is Don Kelly. Ball 1 to Kelly. Don tonight is 0 for 2. A couple of pop-ups. Came into this one hitting .360 in the month of September, and that was after a .341 month of August. The second half has been really good for Don Kelly.
Jim Leland loves Don Kelly. He feels like he could be a real nice piece to a championship puzzle. Can play literally every position on the field, every infield position and every outfield position. And if he hits the way that he's been hitting lately, there's no doubt he has a spot on this 25-man roster next year. People forget Kelly hit about .340 last year in AAA. But it's tough when you come to the big leagues and you don't get a chance to play every day. You play once a week. It's hard to keep your swing sharp. It's not an easy thing to do.
We'll get back out of play. 2-2. The count stays on Kelly.
It's like young kids that are left-handers. They come from the minor leagues and they're playing against left-handers and right-handers, and all of a sudden they're platoon players and they get off to slow starts, and that's because they've been an everyday player in the minors.
Got him, strike 3, and Guthrie continues to cruise along. That is his 4th strikeout of the game. Tigers go in order. It'll be Wieters, Jones, and PA coming up. by Mazda. Got a wall-side window pitching change here now. Max Scherzer is done for the night. Left-hander Brad Thomas will be summoned from the Detroit bullpen.
Well, Thomas, hopefully he can slow down this Baltimore Orioles offense, and the Tigers can somehow come back and score 4 runs, tie this ball game. You know, they do have 9 big outs left from the offensive side.
It'll be Matt Wieters to lead it off, and Adam Jones and Felix Piet in the 7th inning. 4 runs, 12 hits for the Orioles. No runs, 5 hits for Detroit.
And Wieters a better hitter, hitting left-handed as he was off of Scherzer versus batting right-handed. But that's usually the case for most switch hitters. Their dominant side, they usually do the majority of their power damage on that side, and Wieters would be from the left side. It's hard to maintain hitting right-handed and left-handed consistently on a day-to-day basis.
How do guys that are switch hitters take batting practice? Do they go to the what they're going to have their dominant side that night, or do they split it?
Most guys take the majority of their swings from their dominant side and the side that they're going to use on any given night, but they will turn around and take just a few swings from the right side, in this case for Wieters, just in case they do see a left-handed pitcher. He's a .210 batter right-handed with 2 home runs.
1 ball, 1 strike. Wieters 1 for 3. And Thomas has been pitching much better baseball for the Tigers. In fact, in his last 5 outings, an ERA of 2.45. There's the 2-1 pitch. There's a strike call. 2-2. Thomas has been with the club all season long. And the 2-2. Lifted to right field. Rayburn giving chase, and he slides to make the catch.
Looked like he lost that ball in the lights and somehow threw his glove up, and the ball went in the glove. I don't think he saw that ball go into his glove. See about right now, he's struggling to see the ball. Take a look at it. Oh, when he caught it. What a harmless feeling.
Here comes Adam Jones. What a night it's been for Jones. Single, single, double, run scored, and another single. A big night just got a little bit bigger. That is a 4-hit night for Adam Jones. It's going to be 13 hits now for the Orioles. Felix Piet 2 for 3. It has been the bottom of their lineup that did the majority of the damage in the 6th inning, that 4-run 6th. Piet had himself a double that drove in a run. He has himself 2 hits tonight. Jones has a 4-hit game. Cesar Izturis, the number 9 hitter, has a 2-run triple. So 7, 8, 9 have gotten it done. A bender that drops in. 0-1 on Felix Piet. Hit game for Adam Jones, by the way, is the 4th time that he's done that in his career. 0-2 now on PA. Same two teams will hook up tomorrow, and it's going to be Verlander and Tillman with a 105 start. Just missed, a little bit high. 1 ball, 2 strikes on PA. Scherzer started, won 6 innings, allowed 12 hits and 4 earned runs. He threw 96 pitches before giving way to Brad Thomas. Josh Bell in the on-deck circle. And the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on PA. Jones, a 1-out single. He's at first base. And the 2-2. Ground ball to short. Peralta flips to second. There's one. Relay. Double play. A 6-4-3. Comerica Park tonight on the 9th anniversary of 9/11. Fans now will stand to their feet, and vocalist Amber Graham will be singing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Brought to you by your neighborhood Spartan store. For locations, check out turntospartan.com. And by National Coney Island, fast, fresh, and friendly since 1965. Back here at Comerica Park, it has been all Baltimore tonight, 4-0. They got all 4 of their runs in the 6th inning. They've out-hit the Tigers 13-5. And in the meantime, Jeremy Guthrie has not given up a whole lot. Peralta pops it up. Weeders in foul ground. And 1 gone. So Guthrie, who has thrown 93 pitches, remains in command.
The Tigers really have not gotten really good swings today against Guthrie. That's the kind of command he's had with his fastball, working in the 4 quadrant to the strike zone, up and in, up and away, down and in, down and away, and mixing in some real quality breaking balls as well.
Brandon Inch fouls it away. Guthrie now has retired 11 consecutive Tigers hitters. His Tiger to reach was Cabrera. He singled back in the 3rd. Right-hander out of Roseburg, Oregon. Brings home the 0-1. That's popped up. Right side of the infield.
It's keeping everybody off balance.
Roberts hauls it in, 2 away. I think it's 12 in a row now. We'll bring up Avila. Avila had a single back in the 2nd. Tigers have not been without their chances. All of those chances, though, came early in the first couple of innings. 1-out double in the 1st, a couple of singles in the 2nd, a couple of singles in the 3rd.
Guthrie has thrown pitches here tonight that have gone as low as 69 miles an hour and has gone as high as 94 with his fastball. And just about every velocity in between. That clearly is the art of pitching.
What do they say? Hitting is timing, pitching is upsetting timing.
Yes, indeed, and he's upset some timing today. The cut fastball there at 89.
Three 3-0 on Avila. And there's a walk. So the Tigers finally get another base runner. 2-out walk. It'll be the first walk of the night given up by Guthrie. We'll bring up Santiago.
Saw Gary Allenson, the third base coach for Buck Showalter's little cheat sheet in his hand. Had all the Tigers' names on there and how he wants to play them defensively. So every time a hitter comes up, you'll see Gary on that top step, telling his infielders a couple steps to the left, a couple steps to the right, telling the outfielders to come in, back up. Not too many secrets these days in the major leagues. Of course, Juan Samuel was their third base coach at the beginning of the season, and then he took over for Dave Trimley when Dave Trimley was fired, and now Buck Showalter is the manager, and Juan Samuel has been reassigned within the organization. What a great man Juan Samuel is.
Here is Rick Kranitz, the pitching coach, trotting out to the mound. Well, I know we were all rooting for Juan Samuel. I mean, he, of course, a former Tiger and coach. Hoping that this opportunity they had gotten this year would have lasted the entire season and maybe beyond.
I think they told Juan when he initially got the job that they were going to look for a full-time manager, but Juan simply said the opportunity was too good to pass up. You get managing on your resume, and with all the managerial openings about to open up this year in the big leagues, Juan Samuel might get another interview.
Santiago takes outside, and now on back-to-back hitters, he's gone 3-0. Tigers trying to crawl back into this game. We're in the bottom of the 7th, down 4-0. There's a strike, 3-1. Ramon tonight is 0 for 2. Austin Jackson lurking. That's in the air. Shallow center field. Adam Jones is there, and the inning is over. No runs, a 2-out walk, and we'll go to the 8th. The Tigers, as we go to the 8th inning, Jones and PA 6 for 8 combined with a couple of doubles and an RBI. Guthrie, he's been really strong tonight. Rayburn this series 4 for 7. He's had 2 doubles, so he continues to swing it. And as we go to the 8th inning, it'll be Josh Bell to lead things off. Brad Thomas out there for his 2nd inning of work. Chops one of the shortstop, Peralta. Easy hop. Easy out, 1 gone. Bring up Cesar as Turris. Thomas gave up a single in the 7th and then got a double play ball from Felix PA. Tigers just have not been able to get anything going really since they put a few runners on early in the game. 12 in a row had been retired by Guthrie. Turris had a 2-run triple as part of that 4-run 6th inning. 1-0 pitch. 1-1 on Cesar. Earlier this year in the month of August against Mark Burley, Turris picked up his 1,000th big league hit. Been around since the early 2000s. Several different organizations in his career. It's flared into right field, straight at Rayburn. 2 gone.
Hey fans, you can follow the Tigers on your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and the Android phones with MLB.com at Bat 2010, featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcast. Visit Tigers.com today for, well, all the details you need.
2 up, 2 down here in the 8th. Here's Brian Roberts. Tigers tonight have been out hit 13-5. Roberts, 2 of the 13 hits the Orioles had, 2 out of 4. So he's been on base now in 22 straight games. There's another hit. It'll be his 3rd of the night. The Orioles came in batting .257 as a team, which pretty much was middle of the pack. They had pounded out 14 hits in this one this evening on a night that was started by Max Scherzer for the Tigers. Scherzer allowed 12 of the 14 that they had.
And the Baltimore Orioles have nearly as many switch hitters in their lineup as the New York Yankees. The Yankees have 5 switch hitters. They can run out there on any given night for Joe Girardi, their skipper. And Buck Showalter has 4 switch hitters at his disposal.
Wiggins in the bat. Two on Ty Wigginton. Wigginton played his college ball at UNC Asheville, which hasn't produced a whole lot of big league players. In fact, Wigginton is the first big league player to come out of the University of North Carolina in Asheville. Not only a big league player, but as of this year, an all-star. He slices one to second base for the out. Santiago hauls it in. And the inning is over, so Thomas 2 scoreless tonight for Detroit. It'll be Jackson, Rayburn, Damon coming up.
Well, Jeremy Guthrie pitches 7 strong innings here tonight against a hot Tigers offense. But take a location of most of these pitches. The breaking balls, they land over the plate, but every fastball he threw with a purpose. He elevated some. He kept some at the bottom of the strike zone. He kept the Tigers off balance all night long. And Guthrie continues his very strong second half of pitching.
Matt Albers now is the new pitcher as they go to the bullpen.
He's done some nice work for them lately. You can see the earned run average just a shade over 4, but he has 42 strikeouts in 66 innings, 32 walks. He's given up 6 home runs. Pitching in his 56th game this year for the Baltimore Orioles.
Albers, a native of Houston, Texas, lives in Sugarland, Texas. Austin Jackson looks at a strike.
I can't forget about our great sponsor, Bell Tire. That package we just showed you of Jeremy Guthrie was courtesy of Bell Tire.
Waving a miss, 0-2 on Austin. A couple of Texans facing each other here. Albers and Jackson. Jackson from Denton, Texas. They'll be going back home, so to speak, on the next road trip.
He was hot the last time we went to Texas.
Yes, he was. Apparently he was fired up to play in front of all his friends, his family. Oh, 0-2. Austin tonight is fanned a couple of times. He's 0 for 3. Had a 3-hit night last night for Detroit. passing night gets closer and closer to 100 runs scored. He's scored 93 times this year. Back up the middle into center. Leadoff single here in the 8th. It's only the 6th Detroit hit tonight. Here comes Ryan Rayburn. Rayburn's average now is all the way up to 272. Really kind of astounding. He's hit 433 this month, or he did at least coming in, so it's even higher than that now. Tried to hold up. It was jammed. 0-1 on Ryan. Now it's 0-2. Rayburn was hitting 203 toward the end of July. As you mentioned, that average up into the 270 range. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball, got it. First strikeout for Albers. The Tigers hoping to come back here tonight, and trailing by 4 or more runs, they have 8 comeback victories, along with Boston. Baltimore's on that list. Here's Johnny Damon. He's 0 for 3. Albers, we mentioned, from Houston, actually was drafted by the Houston Astros in the 23rd round back in 01 and made it to the big leagues with his hometown team in 06 and 07. 7 years of age now in Houston. Denver missing away now. The count goes to 3-0.
Yeah, apparently he likes his breaking ball because he's thrown quite a few. Jackson got a base hit up the middle on a breaking ball, and Rayburn also got a steady diet of the breaking balls before striking out.
Damon can reach here. You've got the big fella waiting on deck who can change the complexion of a game quickly. Steady numbers it off the end of the bat. Albers fires to second. There's one there. Tough pick. That's all they get. Damon aboard in the fielder's choice with 2 outs.
We've seen a couple of plays today, one with Scherzer to Peralta, and this one from Albers to Izturis, and both shortstops helping out their pitchers. Picking a ball out of the carpet. Or dirt, I should say.
So now Cabrera with 2 outs.
He's one of the reasons why the Tigers have been able to come from behind in 8 games this year.
Back up the middle and through. Base hit.
His numbers 7th inning or on are really, really good.
Damon gets to third base. Tigers have 7 hits. Now Don Kelly. Kelly tonight 0 for 3. Tigers trying to rally here with 2 outs. After Guthrie went 7 innings, he threw 108 pitches. Allowed no runs in 7 strong innings. Kelly checks his swing, but he went up with the right hand. Goes Marvin Hudson. Soft line drive to left, base hit. That'll get the Tigers on the board. It's a 4-1 ball game. Don Kelly comes through with 2 outs. Bring the tying run to the plate.
That ball was down and away from Kelly. Real good concentration. Little two-seam fastball and able to find himself that seam on the left side of the infield.
Kelly gets his first hit of the night and his 22nd RBI of the year. Rick Kranich is out again, their pitching coach.
Well, the Tigers have had a few bloops. Now all they need is a blast.
Michael Gonzalez, the left-hander, quickly heating up. Johnny Peralta certainly has the power to go deep. Tigers have 2 aboard. Cabrera is at second. Kelly at first. And it's driven into right center field. Jones comes on, can't get it. It rolls by him. Cabrera scores. Here comes Kelly. He'll come around and he will score. And Peralta comes through.
That is about the 4th time that Peralta has done that on this homestand. That simply take a base hit the other way, where he really does not get lots of hits in that direction. And this time, he plates a couple. It's a little fastball down and away. Unselfishly, Peralta stays down and drives it the other way. And Adam Jones, if he leaves his feet and dives, he probably makes that play. But he tried to stay up on his feet, and he came up in.
Johnny Peralta safe at second base. Safe and secure. New York life. The Sun is a 1-run game, and here's Brandon Inge. The Tigers will a 2-out rally here in the 8th. Kelly at RBI, 2 for Peralta. Johnny now is 71 driven in. Inge a chance to tie it up. Peters picks that one up. Landon ahead of the count, 2-0. Strikeout, ground out, pop up tonight for Inge. On the outer edge, 2-1 on Brandon. Gonzalez now is joined by Alfredo Simon. So a lefty-righty combination. And that's in the air to center. Jones is there, and he will make the catch to retire the side. The Tigers get right back in this game. They scored 3 times. We'll go to the 9th. Markakis, Scott, and Wieters coming up. It's a 4-3 ball game now as we go to the 9th inning. 4 runs, 14 hits for Baltimore. The Tigers 3 runs, 9 hits. Here come the Orioles now trying to rebuild their lead. Markakis, Scott, and Wieters.
And Markakis usually stays in pretty well against left-handers. Hitting .352 this year against left-handed pitching.
Broke his bat, rolled it to first base, and Cabrera does it himself.
That time he stayed in a little bit too long.
Tip of the cap to Brad Thomas tonight. He came on when it was 4-0 in the 7th. 2 scoreless innings, the 7th and 8th, and now he's retired the leadoff man here in the 9th.
Yeah, we were talking about when he came in, the Tigers had 9 big outs offensively to use the remainder of the game, and they've made pretty good use of 6 of those outs. They've got 3 remaining.
Here's Luke Scott. Ball 1. Tigers have some action in their bullpen. That would be Ryan Perry. The 2-0. There's a strike, 2-1. They get 2-2 now on Scott. Scott today 1 for 4. One of the 14 hits for Baltimore. We'll get back out of play. Started a little bit late tonight, 27-minute rain delay. So we got this one underway, and Scherzer and Guthrie were both pitching well until Scherzer gave up 4 in the 6th inning. Guthrie, meanwhile, went 7 scoreless. Tigers getting to the Orioles bullpen for 3 in the 8th. And the 2-2. Ground ball foul, first base side. Matt Wieters waiting on deck. And the 2-2 pitch. High fly ball, left field. Don Kelly is under it. And there are 2 gone. He's going to leave it up to Wieters. Tigers in the 9th inning have scheduled Avila, Santiago, and Jackson. Uehara starting to warm up their closer. We saw him in the ball game last night.
He threw nothing but strikes. He can locate his fastball at about 86 miles an hour. It's not often you see a closer these days whose fastball does not reach 90 miles an hour. And Uehara's fastball last night did not touch 90. But he's only walked 5, so he's around the dish.
It's the 1-0 pitch, and it's outside. 2-0 on Wieters.
Tigers do have some sock on their bench. Did they choose to go to a pinch hitter with Wells and Bottoms? They're both young pinch hitters, but they've got sock in their bat.
And hopefully all it will take is one. High fly ball, right field, hit pretty well. Rayburn going back to the track, to the wall, leaps, can't get it. Off the wall, and Wieters goes to second with a double.
That's a home run in most ballparks, but not here at Comerica Park. For Wieters, who has really good opposite field power. Ugh. Real close to catching that ball was Ryan.
Sure was.
Did it go in his glove and out of his glove?
Looks like
Off tip of it.
that white background was tough to tell. Again, a game of inches. Jones will not bat. First base open, they're going to walk him intentionally. So he will take base for the 5th time tonight. He had 4 hits coming into this at bat. Felix Piet waiting on deck. There's ball 3, missing outside. 3 singles, a double, and a run scored tonight for Adam Jones, and now you can add an intentional walk to his record. It's going to put runners at first and second.
Hey, Tigers fans, this season it's easier than ever to find the seats you want or to sell the tickets to the games that you just can't make on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Detroit Tigers. Go to StubHub.com and choose your seats today.
So here is Piet with 2 outs. Wieters double starts a 2-out threat here for Baltimore. Outside. A couple of hits tonight for Felix Piet. RBI double got their first run back in the 6th. A 4-run 6th inning tonight for Baltimore. Two and 0. Right off the mask of Avila. That would ring his bell. 2 and 1.
Ouch.
And now it's 3 and 1 on Piet. Bell would be next if Piet were to reach. Wieters doubled. Jones walked intentionally. They're aboard here with 2 outs. 3-1 pitch. Slice to the shortstop over the head of Peralta. Here comes Wieters rounding third. He's going to come rumbling home, and he will score. Taking third base, Jones, and a huge run for Baltimore, 5-3.
Just a nice job by Piet. He's already gotten a couple of big hits in this game, and he gets the count in his favor. The ball is up, and he just kind of slices it over the head of Peralta. And Wieters, with 2 outs, gets a pretty good break off second. And they really don't have a play on him at home plate.
Just out of the reach of Johnny Peralta. And 40 pitches into this outing, Brad Thomas is done for the night. So with a 2-run spread, pitching change, we'll be back. Tigers bullpen to try and shut this inning down.
Yeah, Bell switch hitter, and he has most of his power hitting right-handed. So Jim Leland just turning him around to that left-handed side where the power doesn't show up, or at least it hasn't shown up in the big leagues yet.
RBI single by PA makes it 5-3. And now Bell, who is 1 for 4.
He's done nice work with runners in scoring position, a .300 batting average.
Perry becomes the 3rd pitcher used by the Tigers tonight, following the starter Scherzer and then Brad Thomas. Ground ball to first, foul. 0-1 on Bell. Infield single, run scored in the 6th inning. Line drive caught by the second baseman Santiago. That's going to end the inning. But a big run in for the Orioles. That means we go to the bottom of the 9th with a 5-3 score. The Orioles coverage begins at 12:30 with Tigers Live, followed by the game at 1 o'clock. Tigers baseball is presented by Bell Tire tomorrow afternoon at Fox Sports Detroit and Fox Sports Detroit HD. Five to 3 is our score as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning.
Well, happy 17th birthday.
Here's the closer now for the Orioles, Koji Uehara.
34th game now for Uehara that he has been in, and since he has taken over the closer's role, he's only blown one save. That save came just a few days ago when Nick Swisher of the New York Yankees touched him up for a home run real late in Game 3 of that series in the Bronx.
That was a ninth inning home run.
37 strikeouts in 34 innings against 5 walks. Not overpowering, but he is a strike thrower.
Alex Avila will lead it on.
Uehara throws that fastball right by his right ear. I mean, most guys give you a little bit over to the right where you can get a really good look at the baseball, but his comes right by that right ear. And that's how you can get away with an 86, 87 mile per hour fastball. There's some deception there.
And those that face Uehara will also tell you there is some late movement to that fastball, which is not overpowering. Here's a strike 2 and 1. Koji is out of Osaka, Japan. 6'2", 195. Fouled off and make it 2 and 2 on Alex Avila.
And here's what I'm talking about where he throws the baseball from. He comes up and he basically throws that ball right by the right ear. Makes it tough. That's a fastball that's right down the middle on a 2-1 pitch that most guys are just a little late on. Managers will tell you they would love to have an overpowering guy at the back end of the game, especially in very close games that can miss some bats. But there is no substitute for a guy that will come in and simply throw strikes.
And the 2-2 in the air to center. Adam Jones, 1 out.
Hey fans, not many home games left, but you can see the Tigers battle the Kansas City Royals September 20th through the 22nd. Enjoy the weekday value pack. 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 soft drinks, 4 bags of chips for only $55. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. That weekday value pack has to be one of the best packs in all of baseball.
Santiago takes the ball high. Ramona's 0 for 3. Tigers need a base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. They have been out hit 16-9 tonight and trail by 2. 3-0. There's a strike 3 and 1 on Santiago. Swing and a miss. 3 and 2. The Orioles came into this one tonight having won 5 of their last 6. And the 3-2 pitch is fouled back. Jackson waiting on deck. So the top of the order is lurking. Fouled away one more time. Uehara started closing games a couple of years ago in 07 in Japan when he was pitching for Yomiuri, and he saved 32.
And the Giants are like the New York Yankees here stateside. They spend the most money, and they've got usually the best players.
Uehara strikes out Santiago. Tigers down to their final swings now as Jackson comes walking in.
And he came back to get Santiago after falling behind. 3 balls, no strikes.
There's a strike, 0-1 on Jackson. Austin had a single back in the 8th. Takes a rip, 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the Orioles will win the first 2 games in this 3-game weekend series.
They are playing some really good baseball right now.
They are indeed. They've won 6 of their last 7. Uehara puts this one in the win column, earning the save. There's your final score, 5-3. We'll be back with more from Comerica Park.